How's it going, everybody? I'm Drifty from Driftwood Gaming, and this is an RPG Maker MV tutorial. This is a class spotlight for the Paladin Final Fantasy XI version and how to put that kind of class inside of RPG Maker MV. So first of all, let's take a look at the Paladin, what it can do, and what it can equip, and all that stuff. So in this game, 99's going to be like where you stop learning your skills. That's where you've learned everything. So we're going to take a quick look at some of the skills the Paladin will have. Limited burst will be based on the weapons and gear you have, so basically all of the sword users will have the branding slash. But Paladin abilities, I've tried to stay very close to Final Fantasy XI, but things have changed up quite a bit because enmity works different, so I'm using targeting rate for enmity and stuff like that. But these are the basic set of abilities. This is going to be a lot easier to recreate than some of the other classes like the White Mage or the Black Mage, because there's a lot less of abilities, but they do get some spells, so keep that in mind. So our 2-hour ability is Invincible. Basically it's going to last for 5 turns, but it's going to be a long cooldown on this one. It makes it so the Paladin becomes completely immune to all damage, but it also ups the target chance by 10 times. So basically when the Paladin goes invincible, everything is most likely going to target, but not 100% because it's not a taunt. We're not using Anfly's taunt for this. We're just using target rate times 1,000, right? So you can still not have aggro as the Paladin. So that's something to consider. In Final Fantasy XI, you have sub-jobs, which don't work the same in this game. In fact, they're way different in this game. So I might put even more things to give the Paladin enmity in this, because they are the tanks, and you want the tanks to have full aggressiveness against the whole party. So basically that's Invincible. Holy Circle is going to restore 5% of our MP. Shield Bash is going to deal damage, but it's also going to have a 90% chance to stun, so it's really likely that you're going to stun your target unless the target has some sort of innate stun resistance. Sentinel is going to reduce physical damage you take by 30% and also ups that target rate so the Paladin gets aggro. Cover also is going to increase the chance of being targeted by adjusting the target rate. Many of the Paladin's abilities do that. Like I said, I had to compensate because the enmity works different in MV. But basically, Cover is going to reduce physical damage taken by the party by 20%. So it doesn't jump. It's not like your classic Cover. This is a different, it's like a group party buff where if the Paladin is using Cover, then it's most likely the Paladin's going to get targeted, but not 100%. It's not 1,000 chance increase. It's just 500%. So your other party members still have a chance to get hit 1 out of 25 or something like that. Rampart's going to reduce magical damage taken. It's the same thing as Cover, but Cover will not put the buff on itself. So Yanfly's targeting core for that. So basically, it reduces damage taken by the rest of the party by 20% and increases the chance that the Paladin gets hit, but not guaranteed. So like if someone's taking damage, your party members are beat up, and your Paladin's good to go, you definitely want to use Cover. Rampart, very similar, but it's not for... Rampart actually does affect the Paladin as well. It increases Vitality, which is our defense, by 20%. True Chivalry is going to spend 25 TP to get 25% of their max MP. Really awesome ability, and all of these will have cooldowns on them. Fealty is going to negate and provides protection from most negative states for 5 rounds. So Fealty is going to make the Paladin immune to a lot of like the poison, the blind, the paralyzed, the stun. When the Paladin is under the effects of Fealty, is basically pretty unstoppable unless you just take his HP down, you know. So that's the basic set of abilities. As for the spells that the Paladin will have, we do have some spells. If I awarded them to the Paladin, which I think I have awarded White Magic. We'll take a quick look, if not. Okay, I forgot to award those, so we'll do that super quick. So the Paladin is going to have White Magic, so we'll go to the Paladin. Here we go. And we're going to award that Holy Magic to the Paladin. Okay, so on our skills, I've got everything set up here. So I've set the Paladin's magic type to be called Chivalry. So I just forgot to award Chivalry to the Paladin, so we'll just do that real quick. So to do that, we just go to Skills, and we're going to go Add Skill Type, and then we select Chivalry. Boom, now the Paladin will know Paladin Abilities and Chivalry. Excellent. So we'll jump back into the game. Let's jump into some battles. We'll go through one of the first stage dungeons that I put together. The level 1 to 10 dungeons. Really easy dungeons, actually. It's just for... you'll have a party of 4, keep in mind, at level 1 to do this. But anyway, here's the Paladin at max level, so this should be no challenge. These guys cap at level 10. So basically, we're just going to look at basic stuff. So our basic attack is a weapon replace. Not so much accuracy. I think it's like 78 or 79%, but it will go up 20% as your weapon proficiency goes up. So the more you attack, the better you're going to get at using a sword. Looking at our Paladin abilities, Invincible right here, we're now going to be immune to all the damage that we take. Holy Circle is going to regenerate 5% of everybody's MP. So it's basically just like an MP heal right there for the party. Shield Bash is going to stun and deal damage probably, I think. Yeah, bunch of damage on that stun. Moving on to the next fight here. Sentinel, reduce physical damage taken. Obviously this is a tank, and he's going to have a lot of abilities that do defensive-based stuff. That's just how the Paladin is built. Rampart, same thing there. More buffs, 20% more defense. True Chivalry, we need 50 MP to actually use that. And Fealty, we're going to be immune to so many different states that it's kind of hard to stop the Paladin. So that way, if you use your special moves and boost your all that stuff, and then you get paralyzed, it's not going to help the Paladin too much. But it's just to make it a super defensive tank class. And I put a lot of aggro rate. Target rate stuff on his abilities. That way he can actually be the target of these attacks. Now, as for what kind of magic the Paladin gets, not as much as like a red mage or white mage or black mage, but the Paladin does get some magic, albeit at later levels than other classes. But starting, I forgot what level, but I think it's like 5 or 3 or 6 or something. We're going to start getting Cure Magic, which I've put in its own class. That way it doesn't get mixed up with White Magic. I'm calling it Chivalry, but it's basically like a White Magic for the Paladin. So the Paladin will get Cure, and the Paladin's magic is not as strong as the White Mage for 2 reasons. One, its Wisdom, or its magic defense and its magic attack aren't as high as like a White Mage or a Red Mage, but it still can cast those at a less potency. Same thing with the Banish. They're going to do magic damage and stuff, not as much as, say, a White Mage. See, he's level 99 fighting a level 10, and a move didn't kill it. It's not designed to do tons and tons of damage. But we do get spells like Protect and Shell, and these are spells that are going to reduce physical damage taken, reduce magical damage taken. Banish 2 is just more radiant damage out on the field. Boom, we'll get him. That overkill. Moving on to the next one. Flash is going to be a high chance to blind, so it'll work to blind your target. With a high chance for that to work. And it also generates enmity, so I'm going to give the blind another provoke. I got this idea from Michael Knowles, Chaos Control. He told me to maybe make blind also work like taunt. So when you cast flash on them, or not blind, but the skill flash itself, when you cast flash, it also does provoke, and it works like taunt does. So I'll probably do something like that. I really like that idea. So then we'll go with the shell. It's going to reduce magic damage taken by increasing. It actually doesn't increase defense or magic defense. It actually has that note tag in there, or that parameter, EX parameter, that just reduces SP parameter, I think, that just reduces magic damage taken by a percentage, 10% per tier. So Shell 2 will take off 20% of the magic damage received. We can raise as the Paladin, which is a great utility. If say your White Mage goes down, you could have the Paladin raise it and you're back in action. Cure 4, Reprisal, which is a spell, and it's going to increase your guard rate. It says 100%, but I changed that. I think it's like 500%. So Reprisal, I increased all of the. Oh no. Okay, so Reprisal increases the guard rate and enmity. So I need to update the description on this. It actually increases your guard rate by triple, so 200%, and it will basically add more target rate so that you have more enmity on the Paladin. Phalanx is going to reduce all physical damage by 10%. So we've got some more reduction, and these will all stack because they're all unique states, so they will stack. Crusade is going to add more targeting rate, but it also is going to gain 10 TP and auto regain. So it gives you TP right off the bat, and 10% I think, or is it 10 TP? 10 TP, and then you get TP gain, which I've upped that. I need to update some descriptions because it's not 1% anymore. I believe it's 2 or 3% TP regeneration for that. So we also get Holy, which is powerful magic, but not as strong as if a white mage did it. But the thing about Holy is I made it break the damage cap. So it's got a longer cooldown on that spell, but it can do massive damage once every so often. Right, so I think that's almost about it. There's a few more things we need to look at. In Light, which is going to basically make all of the Paladin's basic attacks have an additional Divine, but it's actually changed to Radiant. So there's a lot of I've got to update a lot of the note tags, I'm sorry, the descriptions, but that's up to you how you want to do that anyway. So we'll just put in Light 2 on. So now we've got the ability to deal holy damage or radiant damage when we attack. And you see that little shing? That was from the In Light. So this should be able to take him out. There we go. Cool. And yeah, that'll bring us to our boss, which is also capped at level 10. So we'll take on the boss as a paladin. It shouldn't be any problems at all. We'll just hit him with some... He's actually weak to radiant damage, so it shouldn't be a problem. Might have an issue with accuracy at first because we're not a real 99. We're just power leveled to 99 by starting at 99. A real 99 would have capped their weapon skills and be a lot more accurate with their attacks. But yeah, we could put in our abilities and take him out. Let's do something like that. Let's put on In Light 2. It's going to do some massive damage. Bam, bam, bam. And some sword attacks. Yeah, so our In Light effect is doing as much damage as our whole attack is doing because of his weakness to it and its potency. I think we could hit him with a Holy, and that'll just rock his world. A lot of MP consumption on that, but MP is not a problem in this game so far. I might have to tweak some of the MP numbers towards the end because the higher level you get, early on, it seems balanced, but when you get to like 20, 30, 40, it seems like you just have so much MP in this game. So I'm going to need to reduce MP on all the classes. That's something to keep in mind too. So we beat that dungeon, and we could repeat it if we want, but that's basically it for the showcase of the Paladin's abilities. Let's look in the database now and take a look at how you'd go about creating some of these abilities. So, create the Paladin class here, and let's look at some of the skills that you will learn. You've seen them already, but we'll look at the levels you learn them. Invincible at 1, Holy Circle at 5, Shield Bash at 15, Sentinel at 30, Cover at 35, Rampart at 62, True Chivalry at 75, Fealty at 75. Now, those are all the abilities that you'll put inside of your Paladin ability skill class. And then we have the Chivalry skill class, which is all of the Paladin spells. These will be the spells that when you get silenced, you can't use. These other ones up here, which they're not affected by silence at all, but these further ones down here are. So we've got Cure at level 5, Banish at level 7, Protect at 10, Cure 2 at 17, Shell at 20, Protect 2 at 30, Cure 3 at 30, Banish 2 at 34, Flash at 37, Shell at 40, Shell 2 at 40, Protect 3 at 50, Raise also at 50. Now you could stagger these out if you want to and put like Protect 3 at 45 to make it kind of like 40, 45, 50. That would be fine too. Cure 4 at 55, also Holy at 55. Once again, you can stagger these out 52, 54, 56, and it wouldn't really matter if you want to split them up. Shell 3 at 55. Reprisal at 61, Protect 4 at 70, Phalanx at 77, Shell 4 at 80, Enlight at 80, Crusade at 88, Protect 5 at 90, and then I tacked on a couple extra abilities, Holy 2 at 99 and Enlight 2 at 99, just because I wanted to give it some other incentive for getting that last 9 levels, which will be the longest push when it comes to grinding. So all of my classes in the FF11 to MV series is going to have preserved TP, just how it works. Target rate slightly higher, but only 10%. You can change that to 150% if you really want the Paladin to be targeted more often. Hit rate is low because I have other weapon proficiency plugins to increase accuracy. So 84 to start, but it will go up to 104 at max, which will be calculated against the opponent's evasion using Amfly plugins and a calculation and a formula to make that work. So 100% for when you cap your weapon skills doesn't mean you're always going to land, because it takes your 104% hit rate and factors it against the target's evasion rate. So if they have 5% evasion, you're at 99%, and it does some other calculations too. So evasion rate 5%, critical rate very low on a Paladin because he's not a damage dealer, really, he's a tank. So what weapons can the Paladin use? Well, basically swords. You could give them great swords, but then they would be dealing a lot more damage, and I didn't want the Paladin to deal too much damage. They already can do Holy and Holy 2, and those will hit pretty hard, so I went with sword, and that's it. Small shield, large shield, general armor, light armor, heavy armor, so basically all of the gear except for the mage armor the Paladin can wear. Also giving them Limit Burst, which is for all the weapon skills. Paladin Ability for all of their abilities with cooldowns and not costing like MP type thing. And then Chivalry, another skill type for all of the magic spell type MP costing abilities. Instead of adding a bunch of passive traits, which will lag the game, which I've learned because I have created a ton of them, as I've gone over several times, I've just added state rates to the traits of the classes to increase efficiency and optimization in the game. So instead of a state for it, we're just doing it right on traits. So state rate, stun times 50%, so the resistance to stun, slightly resistant to sleep by 25%, and 25% resistant to doom, as of their holy nature will protect them from it. Whatever, I'm justifying it that way. SP parameter, their guard effect is naturally 50% stronger. So if a Paladin is using the guard command, they will take 50% less damage than they would normally take, or their guard effect would be bolstered 50% than the normal. Also, they have skills and abilities that will increase that further. So all of the classes are going to get a combination of 5% total between HP, MP, and TP regen every turn. And for the Paladin, they're getting 4% HP, 1% MP. I might change that to 3 and 2, but right now it seems like you want your Paladin to have high HP regen because at a higher level, MP isn't as much of a problem. I might need to nerf how much MP I'm giving all of my classes by about 25% or 50%. So we'll see how that goes in the future. But anyway, that's it for that. We're moving on to the note tag. So once again, using custom class parameters, this is vital to all of the classes so that they're balanced out. I have to be able to specify what their parameters are per level. Otherwise, you can't balance past 10 levels. So max HP, they have a ton of HP, not as much as the monk, but pretty close. They get 180 plus 360. So I'm adding double of the innate bonus, so that they get triple of their modifier every level triple of their modifier at the first level, and then they get their modifier at every level. So basically, level 1, 360 plus 180. Level 2, they get an additional 180. Then they just keep getting 180 every level, and that's how it works. MP, max MP equals level times 20 plus 50. Now, once again, this needs to be reduced quite a bit. MP is just too high. On all of the classes. Early on, it feels balanced, it feels right, and then as you get to a higher level, it feels like you just have an unlimited supply of MP. So you might want to reduce this down to, say, 10 plus 20. Now, this is going to be very handicapping early on in the game, so keep that in mind if you do that. So you sort of have to find a balance, a trade-off. Do you want the players to be MP screwed early on and have the correct amount of MP later on, or do you want them to be have plenty of MP early on and then just have an infinite number of MP later on? So it's kind of like a delicate balance. You can decide for yourself how you want to do the MP. I'll keep it at this for now so that the early on isn't so brutal. They'll be able to actually have some MP to play with, and then later on they'll just have more than they need. Maybe I'll have some enemies that drain MP. That could be a good way to balance it too. So anyway, attack is just right on the average. So basically how I award stats is a scale from 1 to 10 on each parameter, totaling of 30 for all parameters, so that they're all about right. But I will make the total parameters on Summoner slightly less because they get a pet, and same thing for Beastmasters. The total parameters on Beastmasters will be slightly less because they get a pet. So the rest of them will add up to 30 approximately, give or take a point or two. So attack will be 5, Defense is 9, and this is all multiplied by the level. Magic attack is the worst in the game. Paladin's magic attack is level times 2, which is terribly awful. Magic defense is times 4. Now, I'm thinking about raising magic defense because a paladin should have some sort of high defense, and you wouldn't want them below average. So this is a number you can mess around with as well. You could consider reducing agility by 1 and increasing magic defense by 1. For now, I'm going to leave it like that so that the paladin does have a weakness. Their magic defense is not that great. Magic attack is just not that great, but their luck, which is charisma in this game, and their agility are average. That way the paladin will get more turns, so we have to decide, do we want the paladin to have more turns or take less damage from magic attacks. This number could be moved around back and forth, and it shouldn't make much of a difference. But anyway, I'll leave that to your discretion, what you want to do there. Learn skills, Yanfly plugin. This is for adding the stat bonuses when they get JP, and also learning new classes when the player gets the testimonies and stuff like that. So this is probably going to be completely different in your game. You could skip past that. Equip slots, I'm using Yanfly's equip core, and I'm specifying which things that each class can equip, because not all class can wear shoulder pads, not all class can use shields, so I'm just specifying weapon, shield, limit burst, head, earring, neck, back, shoulders, chest, waist, hands, ring, legs, feet, relic, way more than you need. You do not need that many things. But if you want to go for like the Final Fantasy XI thing, there's even more in the final. There's 2 rings, there's 2 earrings, there's more stuff. So anyway, there's that. Also giving it an icon, so when in the class class change core, you can see an icon next to it. So that's basically it. Moving over to the skills. The Paladin, not too many as we've gone over. Let's take a look at, we'll do the states at the end. So Invincible, become immune to all damage for 30 turns. Basically, we're adding a state of Invincible. It's an instant ability with a cooldown of 30 turns, doesn't have any cost or anything. Certain hit, has a custom animation and whatnot. Holy Circle, recover MP, this is an easy one. This is just recover MP 5% plus 1, and then a 10 cooldown, it's an instant. So just boom, MP to the party, that's Holy Circle. Instead of reducing damage against undead or something, I thought it would just be more practical to do something similar to that. Okay, so Shield Bash is targeting one enemy. It's a Paladin ability, battle screen only. All of these will be battle screen, except for the Cure Magics. I've made all of the Cure Magics always, just because. Now, all the buff spells are battle screen only, but as for the healing magic, I did decide in the cure, like Poisona and stuff like that, did change that around so that they're the only abilities you can use outside of combat, so that you can heal outside of combat, but you can cure your blindness or your poison or paralysis outside of combat, but you can't like buff up outside of combat. That's to just eliminate, because I wanted the player to actually have to sacrifice turns to buff. And not spend more time in the menus. It's basically, by not allowing them to buff in the menus, I'm reducing the player's time that they're going to spend in menus and putting more action in the game. So yeah, it's sort of a handicap, but it also increases gameplay, in my opinion. So that's why I went with that. But I couldn't justify not being able to heal outside of combat, so I did allow healing outside of combat. Where were we at? We're down to the healing magic. Oh no, we were not. We were on Holy Circle. We did, okay, Sentinel. So Sentinel is going to reduce physical damage taken by 30% and increase the chances of being targeted. So we're adding these states: 100% certain hit, instant cast, cooldown 10 turns, cover. Basically reduces physical damage taken by the party and increases your chance of being targeted. Cooldown, but this does not affect yourself. So it adds a state 100% battle screen, Paladin ability, custom animation, instant cooldown 10 turns, and then the no tag we're using for that is Yanfly's target core, target, all allies but user. Right, there's the code for that. So Rampart is going to target all allies as well, adds a state 100% chance, battle screen only, Paladin ability, no cost, these are just instant cooldown abilities. And there we go, it reduces magical damage taken by 20% and increases your defense by 20%. So this is just going to give some extra bonus defense and stack those buffs. True Chivalry, this is different how it works in Final Fantasy XI. A lot of things had to be adapted, but this is a simplified version of it. You're going to spend 50 TP, then we put the TP cost to be 50 on this, and it just recovers 25% of your max MP. Instant 10-turn cooldown. Just going to be an ability you can use to just buff out some, you know, to restock your MP if you get drained or sapped or something like that. Fealty reduces. This is going to make you state resist. It's going to add fealty 100%, certain hit, battle screen only, but it's going to give you remove state on all of these things. Not only does it give you remove state, but on the state itself, it gives you state resist on all of these. It doesn't resist every element in the game, but you can see there's quite a few of them that it will protect against. So then we move on to the curing. So the curing magic is similar to the red mage's magic. So the white mage has cure, the red mage has cure, and the paladin has cure. Now the white mage has the strongest version of cure. The red mage and the paladin share a damage formula for that. Now they do have separate skills, but this is because I designed this before the plugin came out from the Anfly engine that will let you use a note tag to specify different skill types for the same skill. But I've already made it this way, so we'll just keep it that way. You can use a note tag to consolidate this skill on the red mage. Whatever, if you've already made the red mage, which I haven't put out the thing yet, so maybe you've got your own version. Anyway, basically I've made it its own type and I've set it into Chivalry. And I've made this formula for it: 75 plus level plus magic defense, and it's an element of its own element of healing, which is all the healing magic gets that. That way, it's not the same as light magic or divine or radiant. That way, if you get a shield of light resist, it doesn't stop your healing from being powerful. 8 MP cost, and that's pretty much it. It's also based on willpower. You can see we're using magic defense, which is willpower in this game. So it's not your magic attack. Your healing magic is based on your magic defense in all instances of cure. Also, I've made all the cures remove sleep. So if your party member is asleep, throw a cure 1 on them, they'll wake up. That's how it works in Final Fantasy XI. That's how it works in this as well. So Banish is just going to do divine damage, which I've changed to radiant. So I need to update a lot of the descriptions because things are always being changed. You can see it's radiant right there. But for Banish, magic attack times 3, magic defense times 3. Probably reduce some of the formula, the damages on the Banish spells because they're just really strong. But I like the ability to have an attack magic because the Paladin really never uses these skills. So they are completely useless in the actual game. But they are useful in this version of it. They're useless in Final Fantasy XI. So Protect is basically, instead of increasing defense, I'm having it just put on a state that adds Protect, which reduces physical damage directly, and that's how it works. 9 MP cost, cooldown of 5, yeah, that's it. And you can see PDT minus 10%, physical damage taken minus 10%, that's what it'll be. Excuse me. Cure 2. Oh, that coffee's working. Cure 2, we're going to basically increase the formula and increase the cost and the cooldown, and everything just keeps going up for the cure, different animation and whatnot. So we're removing state sleep, and the formula is 150 plus level times 2 plus magic defense times 2 in its own element, and there it is. Shell, same thing as Protect, but it's for magic damage taken. Protect 2, same thing, but now we're increasing those numbers from minus 10% to minus 20%. Cure, it's another, the next tier, costs 46 MP, cooldown of 5 this time, 225 plus level times 3 plus magic defense times 3, and so everything else is the same. Banish 2, we're increasing those numbers. Once again, we went from times 3 to times 6. I might reduce this to, from times 3 to times 6 to times 2 and times 4, and, you know, just shave off some of that damage, but we'll see how it goes. You can always change these numbers. This is a template. You modify it however you want. So Flash, I'm going to be changing this as well and making it so that it also provides a provoke effect, just like the warrior. You can check the warrior ability out, the warrior class spotlight. But this is also going to provoke in my game in the future, so you can add that if you want to. But right now it adds an 80% chance to blind your target, and blind is a state we'll take a look at. It just reduces your the target's hit rate. So that's all. It reduces accuracy, 25 MP cost, cooldown 5 turns. Shell 2, same, it's just stronger version of Shell. Protect, same thing, stronger version. This is 30% now, 46 MP, 37 MP on the Shell 2. Raise, 75, it's going to remove the state of knockout and recover 10% of your HP. but it has to target one ally dead, so you can't use it as a cure. The party member has to be dead in order for them to be targeted. This also is an exception to the rule where nothing can be cast outside of combat. Healing magic and raise and like restorative stuff, but not buffing stuff, just restorative stuff can be used outside of combat. So it removes knockout, restores HP. That's pretty much it. Cooldown of 5 turns. I'm being generous with how quick the cooldown is. Originally I had it at 10, and I've reduced it so that you can use it more often if you do have a string of bad luck. Because a lot of the times you'll raise your party member, they'll be at low HP, then they get targeted and die again, and now your skill's on a cooldown. So I reduced it. Cure 4, stronger version, takes 88 MP. Here's your formula: 300 plus level times 4 plus magic defense times 4. Still removes sleep. Cooldown of 8 turns. So the cooldown's going up, the MP cost is going up. So is the damage formula for all the heals. Now Holy, breaking the damage cap to, this is damage core no tag, so that you can add up to 100,000 damage right there. You can put in whatever number you want actually to cap it, but I'm just using simple caps. Everything's capped at 9999. But then things that are damage cap broken are 99, 999. So five nines for 100,000 is the cap on some spells, very few, but 10,000 is the cap on everything else. That's just to balance it out so that one character doesn't become super ultra, slay them at last boss in one hit who's going to have a million HP and whatnot. So damage formula: 500 plus magic attack times 12 plus magic defense times 12. That's pretty strong, way strong. I might actually reduce how much magic defense is affected on Holy, because I think that's probably just too strong for the Paladin to cast spells. But it's useful now, 12 turn cooldown, and it will be used. Cost a lot of MP. Well, I'll probably increase the MP cost on some spells, even offensive spells mainly. Shale, stronger version of everything, 56 MP cost, 10 turn cooldown, 30% reduction on the magic damage taken. Sorry. Reprisal increases the guard rate, not by 100%. We are adding reprisal. We should fix that right now. So reprisal, actually guard rate 300%. I wanted it to be triple, so that would be plus 200%, but it increases the target rate by 4 times. So that looks better. So we'll go ahead and update that. Increases the guard rate by 200%, and it also increases chance of being targeted. Everything's in a constant state of being upgraded and updated and changed, and that's how your project should be too. And like I said, this is a template. You will change these up to work how you want. So reprisal, 25 MP cost, 10 turn cooldown. It adds that state 100% chance at the time. We'll look at all the states right after this. Protect 4, same thing, right? 65 MP, 12 turn cooldown. Now you're doing 40%. Same thing with this. 86 MP cost, 12 turn cooldown on the shell 4. 40% magic damage taken reduction. And then they don't get, the Rune Fencers will get shell 5, but the Paladin will not. And the Paladin gets Protect 5, and the Rune Fencers will not. So that's how they differentiate a little bit. Rune Fencer's going to be more magic damage tank, and the Paladin's going to be more physical damage tank. So you have your option of which tank you want. Warrior's right in the middle, mostly damage, though, on the Warrior. But the Warrior does have some tanking abilities and provoke and whatnot like that. So, yeah, Protect 5, 50%. 96 MP, 15 turn cooldown on that, because they last for 15 turns. The protect spells, the shell spells, they last a long time, so they have a long cooldown. Phalanx is just another reduced damage taken, physical damage taken. I think it's only physical. It might be all damage. I'll take a look at the state. 5 turn cooldown, 21 MP cost. Crusade increases your aggro rate, so you're going to get targeted more. Also restores 10 TP right off the bat. Just a quick gain 10 TP, and also you're going to get Crusade, which gives you regain plus 1%, which is basically 1% TP regeneration as well on top of that. So it's just TP regen. Holy 2, once again, super strong when you max level on this. This just needs to be higher for sure. And probably reduce the damage on this. Once again, I need to update this. I changed the element type to Radiant instead of Divine. That sounds better. Can critical and all that. So 250 MP cost. I think it's 150 in the wikis or whatever for the skill. But we're going 1,000 magic attack times 20, magic defense times 20. Break the damage cap. 20 turn cooldown on that. Holy 2, the strongest spell for the Paladin. In Light is going to add another state with a bunch of code. We'll take a look at that in a second. It's going to basically make all of your attacks deal radiant damage when they attack. And 15 MP cost, 5 turn cooldown. This is 36 MP cost for the tier 2 version of it. It adds in light 2. Once again, got to change so many note tags. Radiant, when you change one thing, you have to change 50 things. 5 turn cooldown, it adds a different animation. But yeah, that's it for the skills and the spells for the Paladin. Let's look at the states that are affecting it. Not too many, right? Here's our invincible state. 50 turn priority, its duration turn end in 5/5. Now we can't use action end on anything we do in here because we're using instant abilities. When you use instant abilities, action end will cycle through the state numbers. So if you do boost your ability and boost another ability, well, the first ability you boosted just got lost a turn because that's an action the player did, even though it's still their turn and those were instant abilities. So we have to use turn end on almost all of our things because of the instant cast functionality. So that's no problem. We'll just set turn in 5/5. That means it has to end their turn before the timer to tick down, right? So physical damage times 0, magical damage times 0. So basically they will take no damage while they have invincible up. They can still die through certain methods, but not through direct damage, right? Targeting method, targeting rate is times 1,000. So they are most likely going to be hit in a party of 4, but there's still, I don't know, what is it, like 1 out of 20 chance that another party member gets hit when their invincible is up. So it's not taunt, it's not provoke, it's just high target rate. So it's not guaranteed that they're going to be hit, but it's a pretty good chance that they will be targeted by the enemy with this target rate times the max of 1,000. Also doing state animation 474, that's a Yanfly state effects plugin. This is letting an animation play when you have that invincible state. It's that blue shield that was cycling on the Paladin when I did it. So that's how you do that with that note tag. Sentinel is just going to reduce physical damage taken by 30% and up the target rate by 500%. So they're still way more likely to be targeted than the others. Cover, physical damage taken by 80 times 80% and target rate. So I wanted to give the Paladin a lot of ways to get to generate enmity, right, and be the target of those attacks. So I've made a lot of the Paladin's states increase its target rate. This one right here, cover, will not apply this buff to the Paladin. Cover will apply this buff to... hold up, I need to take this off on cover, because what this is going to do is apply a state to the rest of the party, right? Let's see here. On cover, I need to double check this real quick. On cover, it's going to add state to all allies but the user, so we can't increase target rate on cover because it's going to increase the target rate of the party members and completely defeat the purpose of what it's going to be doing. Okay, so what we're going to do on that one is just remove the target rate on cover. I'm going to add more target rates on the Paladin's abilities. I'm going to add a provoke / taunt effect on it, probably invincible and also on flash as well. So for now, you're going to just do physical damage taken times 80% on cover and turn in 5/5 because this is going to be applied to all of the party members but the Paladin. So you don't want target rate on all the party members to go up, only the Paladin's target rate. So there you go on that. Rampart, magical damage times 80% and defense times 120%. So we're taking 20% less damage and reducing our defense by 20%. So that's our vitality, right? So Rampart, I think I was going to do magic defense, but you could decide if you want to do magic defense on this, you know, or if you want to do physical damage and defense, or I did like one of each opposite one, right? We got magical damage and then defense, so which would be for physical damage. So it's up to you. You can always change these up to fit how you want. So fealty removes all of those states on the player, but in addition to just removing those states, it puts a state resist while you have fealty up. So you can no longer... it cures stun and paralyze and hex and all that stuff, but it also stops the Paladin from being afflicted by all of those states while fealty is up. So it's a really good ability, I think. Reprisal is going to increase the guard effect by double, so twice the chance that you get... or half the damage that you would normally take when guarded. So it reduces to about quarter of the damage that you would normally take if you get hit while guarding. But it also increases target rate. Once again, I need to draw things, as many things as I can, to give the Paladin hate and enmity. And then Crusade, we've got target rate once again on the Paladin and TP regeneration 2%. So, yeah, I want to take a quick look at Crusade. Did I say? Yeah, 2%. I changed it up. So I'll have to keep updating descriptions and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the Paladin in a nutshell, the Final Fantasy XI class transported into MV and the most classical way, with trying to maintain as much as I can while still making it useful and relevant and just work in MV. Change these up to work better in your game. Your game is going to be different than mine, so you're going to want to change some of these skills up, the stats up, you know, make it customized in your game. But here's a pretty good template of what a Paladin is and how to make the Paladin from Final Fantasy XI into MV. Hopefully you guys liked this tutorial. If you did, please smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I've got lots of RPG Maker MV tutorials. I've got Game Maker Studio 2 tutorials. I do first impression videos where I do QA testing on your games. If you have a game you would like me to test it, please hop in the Discord. Links in the description below. Send me a message with the download link when it's ready. I'll check it out, add it to the list of games, and then it'll be done within the week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks at the latest probably. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys so much. A big shout out to all the Patreon supporters for making these tutorials possible. They're coming out more frequent because we hit that next goal and it's still climbing. I love you guys very much. You guys are making it work. And I get to do this for you guys and make these tutorials, and hopefully they're helpful. If you did like it, let me know by leaving a comment. What did you like about it? What would you change? I would love to hear any feedback you have about Paladin. If you created a new ability for the Paladin that would work perfect, let me know. I would like to add it. I want to add more custom stuff. So you guys come up with crazy ideas, and I get a lot of my ideas from your comments. So please leave a comment below if you have any ideas about improving Paladin, or maybe switching it up, or parameter changes, or whatever you have on your mind, or even if you just wanted to say I liked it, just let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.